Alright guys, so let's see how today goes. Yesterday was quite an interesting day. One of my favorite things yesterday was McDonald's. We had a really nice day with that. They just took off. So if we come back to checking out everything we have from yesterday's review, Apple, McDonald's, Pfizer. I traded Pfizer calls as well. These three I traded. They did pretty well. But Apple I let go of too early. It was moving a little slow, but it actually ended the day very strongly. So that was really impressive. I was able to hold McDonald's through quite a distance. That was the biggest profit yesterday. Pfizer was good. Costco was a boom yesterday. This just took off. I did not get to trade it though. I was already busy with the others. And then Walmart had a bit of a jump early, so it was like a quick jump, and then after that it just stayed the same. Looking forward to a lot of that today too. So something that was pretty common yesterday was that an early morning fall and then takeoff. But what I'm seeing now is a lot of these, like in terms of Robinhood format, are below the dash line already. So they started out the day pretty low to begin with. Many of them we're going to see as I go through them. So they might just take off as soon as the day begins. We're looking at Roblox, Amazon. I don't really do the ones that are too expensive though. So like Amazon calls are extremely overpriced. We'll take a look at Square, Roku, possibly. I'm already in AMD calls, so I'm really hoping that it's actually going to finally come back. And then possibly look at CRM. We got some tickers for stocks that are booming right now in the pre-market area, LMFA and FLGC. If you're interested in day trading either of them, take a look. Here's some price targets you can work with. These are the entry prices you should get in at. Otherwise, don't get in, and then just be really careful. Now, as we are here, let me just take care of something before we get started with the setups. All right. So let's see. Today I'm looking forward to possibly still trading McDonald's. I have to see if it continues to go up or decides to come back down. And I also need to see if by any chance Apple is going to start falling now, because yesterday Apple broke its 150 roof, right? So it's usually got quite a bit of resistance at around 150, but it went to 151. Would have probably approached 152 if the day kept going, but then I noticed, I just saw it earlier, that today it's actually back down, right? So it's actually back down to I believe under 150. So we'll take a look. Which could mean one of either things. It's either going to continue going down, or it's going to go back up to 150 again, right? So whichever way it decides to go, we'll figure it out. But yeah, we're looking at, I'm personally going to be looking at AMD, McDonald's, and Apple. The others are all mentioned in the description below, as well as on the Discord page. And just work accordingly. Do your due diligence. See what you're finding on FinViz, which is one of the places I like to look for information, and as well as on StockTwits to see what some people are saying. Now with StockTwits though, you want to be careful, because it's actually people talking on StockTwits. So a lot of them are just hopeful people sharing what they're hoping for, but not exactly facts per se. This is interesting. So RMO is continuing to fall. That's unfortunate. So yesterday after the day ended, it just sank even more. One of those buy the dip plays, buy the dip. This is its all-time low, if anything, as far as I can see. Right, so this is a wonderful price to catch it at. We want to see if it goes any lower, because it will be a wonderful day if it ever comes back up to 34 from 5, right? That's like a massive 7x jump. That was something we were looking at yesterday to see what it would do. RMO just sank more though, so this is wonderful. This is what I like to call at my buy price now, right? Every time a stock just takes off, you want to figure out a buy price for it. Like, you don't want to buy it after it took off, right? But chances are, if you learned about a brand new stock, you probably learned about it after it took off. So like, for example, the first time I heard about AMD, it was at like $8, and then it went up even more from there. But I wrote down for myself that I would want to buy it at under $5. So you wait for the hype to go away and then you buy it, right? So RMO is here dying very nicely, becoming ready to be bought, right? So it's buy the dip kind of thing. Let's see JP Morgan real quick. Yeah, this has continuously been falling too ever since these two bumps over here. Not one of the power green stocks, but I'm gonna add it into my power stocks list right now because it makes strong moves. So you know, and obviously it's a very powerful company. So I want to follow it, see what it does. AMC, we're gonna get to Boeing. So for Boeing today on our alerts, let me just take a look again in my notes. All right, so Boeing, we're saying watching this as the market pulls. Yeah, I saw the 200 SMA breaking below 225. Okay, so we're watching for puts here. All right, so I'm gonna put that note for myself right here. All right, so we'll take a look at these prices when the market opens and see how it looks. But you know, it's interesting because the longest time I was watching this, it's been just an up and down kind of thing. You know, it's very shaky, and I guess a lot of that uncertainty is due to COVID. So what can you do? Coming back to AMC here, same thing every day, right? If it comes down to 30, you buy it, you know it's going to go up. When it goes up, you don't buy it because you know it's going to come back to 30. It just dances. It dances between 30 and 35. Sometimes it goes up to 40. You know, this was the latest. You can see this crazy moments, right? So we're happy with it. We're happy with it. We just watch it. I don't really trade it anymore. I sold it at 60 twice, so I just let it sit now. Cat has been on its way back down again, but it's one of those stocks, once again, very surprising, does weird things. So we'll watch what it looks like when the day starts. MediaCo was looking really interesting yesterday. Did it go up any higher? No, it just did this move. This was the only move it did, and then it stopped. But generally speaking, if you're going to be investing in MediaCo, you would want to pick it up when it dipped here. You know, like its usual price is this, right? This is its usual price with no pumping, no activity, right? So that's under 4. Now, if you buy it here, like 550 to 6, that's something. But if you buy it at 8, you're just risking that it's going to come back to under 4 again. Yeah, so I would wait to see movement on this if I'm going to try trading it. Could be a day trade potential. We'll have to see. NAOV was very interesting yesterday. Very interesting yesterday. So this week has been performing pretty well, going above the 230. And then scalpable moments. Usually when you day trade something like this at this price range, you want to sell it at 50-cent intervals. So, and that will be the move to do. It might make some more movement upwards today. We'll keep an eye on it. Keep that open. So MediaCo I'm not interested in. I'm going to move that over. DATS, I'm just watching this. I want to see if this is ever going to, you know, boom out of nowhere. Brand new stock just listed on the 13th, right? So that was pretty much last week, and it hasn't gone above its listing price, $395, the IPO price. The lowest it's gone so far has been $343, which would have been a wonderful price to pick it up at, but now it's kind of dwindling right here on an average of like $370. So I would love to see if they can develop to a point where all of a sudden now they start jumping towards 10, 20, God knows what else. And that's kind of how it works. It integrates with iMessage, so I feel like it has a strong connection with Apple, which obviously if you have a company which connects with Apple, then that's a very strong company already. I'm definitely going to continue watching this as an open tab that I review every morning, just so I don't miss it. Now moving to the other things I want to look at. So we got right here. So I got a couple calls open already, right? AMD not working out. Aqua completely died out yesterday. NEM was supposed to be the one that would actually really work out. That one also didn't work out yesterday. X is already up. We'll have to see how it's doing. That's the steel one. And then the ones I closed out, they boomed yesterday, right? So McDonald's boomed yesterday, Pfizer boomed yesterday. They made far more profits than these losses, so I'm green overall. But the week hasn't ended yet. The one I'm least hopeful of is Aqua. That's the one that probably won't be able to become green. I'm very hopeful for AMD becoming green and NEM becoming green. So let's take a look. Yesterday we did McDonald's. We traded McDonald's a couple times, twice I believe. Sold it, so I bought it at 0.71 and sold it at 0.85 in the end. But the first time I bought it was right here, right? 0.52. Bought even more at 0.47. Bought a few more at 0.37, right? And then I sold 10 of them at 0.50. But then it started going even further, right? So these that I bought, these 10 that I bought here, had an average below 0.50, obviously, because this, I got some at 0.37. But then I bought 5 more at 0.71. So you can see, like, selling at 0.50 wasn't the best idea. But why I did that was because you could see the price was going down, right? So I wasn't too confident it would go up. But then out of nowhere, it started skyrocketing, right? So it actually went to like 0.92. So I quickly picked it up again at 0.71. That one I sold at 0.85. Right, so that was kind of what happened with McDonald's yesterday. It was like it was on its way down. It wasn't really doing much, and then it ended the day very strongly. So you can see this week it's got a very strong green trend right here. Right, it's been really impressive. Right, really impressive green candles, good volume and everything. So I'm not sure what's causing it or why, but looks good to me. So I'm going to be watching this for calls today as well. One of the common things that have been happening as soon as the market opens up is that there's a little bit of a dip and then it takes off, right? So the description of this video as well as my Discord channel, they both have everything there on it. I also posted it all on Stock Twists under my name. So I'm definitely looking forward to some big profits off of McD's today, either direction, even if it decides to go back down, right? Which is definitely possible. It could be one of these days today. You see this day right here, right? These days were just really red, right? So it's basically like a roller coaster stock, if anything, right? So it looks like resistance is around like 246, right? So that might be the price. Resistance usually tends to form around the price where people usually want to sell the stock, right? That's the day trade mentality. Although McDonald's is a power stock, it's not something you really day trade. You day trade options on it, but not the stock itself. So I'm gonna keep an eye on it. I'm gonna watch this today. Maybe it'll have a little bit of a dip as soon as the market opens, and then it'll go up. Here we're seeing that this hasn't updated yet, right? So this updates at 9:30. So we'll figure that out when that happens. But yesterday, the highest it was able to get to was 59.24. I really want to see it break 61 today. All right, maybe even finally get to like 62. It's had movement, but most of it was negative. So right now, a couple analysts thought it was time for it to go back green. $580 in. Let's see what it does. Pretty much, if it doesn't make its way back up, then that'll be that. Doesn't not much I can do about it. My average here is just 0.41, which is pretty high, but I'm hopeful. And I did average down, didn't I? No, I got 20 contracts at 41 cents. Yeah, so if it starts looking like it might show some power and volume, I might average down, but I'm not too sure about that. We'll see. Apple, right? Wonderful day yesterday for Apple. Look at this. You could have started the morning with puts, sell here, and then just buy some options, call options, and enjoy the day. So this is what you want to be very careful of, though, right? This is why you don't buy calls as soon as the market opens, unless there's actual movement. So like you would see this movement, maybe that would be enough for you to decide to get puts, and then you would see the next drop and you would sell, right? And then as soon as it starts curling back up and it starts doing this thing, you definitely want to sell, take your profits, anything that's left. Always trim, right? Like maybe you bought 10 contracts, sell 5, right? Then sell another 3, then sell 2 more, and you're done. Just take your profits, But then you would get some calls too. You would start buying calls as soon as it started curling, and boom, it went all the way up here, right? So 151, I think it was up to 151. It broke 151.50 too, and right now it's at 150.23. So we want to watch this. We want to see what it does. See here it says 151.67 on the tab. It was frozen at 151.67 on the tab, so it did go up to there. Right, it went pretty high up. We're gonna keep an eye on this, see what we want to do with it. Let me see real quick. I got Apple. No notes on Apple right now. Let me see. Definitely made notes. Let me just check that. Oh no, it is there. I missed it. It is there. I wrote like this. Also watch Apple over yesterday's price to go $1 increments. So really hoping that's going to be calls. Let me see what some of these other analysts on different channels are saying. A lot of people are thinking it's going to be a day of puts. Okay, we'll keep an eye on that. Okay, that's fine. There's a lot of messages coming in. Just want to make sure I get a good look at everything real quick, so I don't miss anything that we should be watching. Okay. Oh, is it? Wow. SCSN after its death, is it actually trying to make some moves again? It looks like it is. It's trying. Okay. If you didn't pick up, if you haven't heard of SCSN, that's a different thing. But if you didn't pick up SCSN after its fatal drop from $5 to $1, under $1, then you missed out. Definitely wanted to pick it up as a penny stock. I picked up 1,000 of it at 92 cents. So buy the dip. Always buy the dip, and don't buy the bullshit news ever. Doesn't work out. So for Apple, I'm gonna be watching this. I personally, although analysts are saying otherwise, I personally feel like today's gonna be a day Apple dips, because that's kind of what it does. 150 was a big barrier it broke, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be dipping after that now. So gotta be careful with that. Almost time. AMD. So we look at the option I had bought, I was pretty close to approaching green, and then it dipped. Like, this is clearly a great day for anyone that bought puts, right? From 335, my average is 162. I did average it down, but even after even after I averaged it down, it went down even more. Didn't really try to come back up, although I'm not too far from it. I needed to do this. That'd be wonderful. Come back up to 393 like that. So that would entail it coming back up to like 111, right? Now, will it do that today? I'm not too sure. A lot of people are saying it's just going to be puts day. So I might just, take the loss and sell it rather than losing more. So we'll see when the market opens where this goes. But very, very sad to see AMD dying. It was really, really fun not too long ago. Just this period was amazing. Watching it do this ascension from 90 all the way to tapping 120. And these were some of the best days of buying calls ever. AMD made a lot, so I'm still very green with AMD, and this loss won't be the worst thing on earth, but let's hope that it doesn't have to be a loss. Pfizer was great. Let me see if I don't have any calls right now, but I did have Pfizer calls. Yeah, I kept scalping it too. 5 contracts at 0.54, sell it at 0.60, a $30 gain right there, nothing big. But this was the big sell. You see I sold 20 contracts at 0.50. Yeah, that was a big sell. So that was really good. How much did I buy those at? 36. 10 contracts at 0.36, 10 contracts at 0.54, so that averages it down to below 50. And then I sold them at 0.50. That was a limit sell order. I had walked away, and then obviously it broke out to even further, 0.60. Touch 0.69 here, and then we'll see what it does today. Gonna keep an eye on that. Definitely gonna keep an eye on that. Aqua, just go to freaking 50, man. This thing died hard. It was at 0.20 for a bit yesterday. Very tiny moment right here, but it didn't sell. I've averaged it down. Now it's a penny. It's so cheap that I could buy a shit ton of it and really average this down. Maybe pick up like 21 contracts, make this 40 contracts flat, really average this down big time, and then wait for it to come back up, because I had a limit order ready to sell it, but it didn't go through. I was gonna sell it at 0.20, but it never really went back up there. It's been as high as 0.30 this day, and when I tried selling it, it didn't work here. So then after that, it just dipped. So we're hoping it can do some magic, right? Because you see how it's been on a bit of a power move here from the 32 areas to approaching 40. Once, then a bit of a pullback. Second, hoping it's not done. If it's pullback time, it'll go down, but I'm hoping this is not all for the second jump up. And let's see, it's 1 year high, so I have expectations. Let's see. X looks like it came back down a little. Yeah, dipped back down a little. This was yesterday, and then it dipped. So this is going to be negative as soon as the day starts. Might get to average it down a little bit. If I do, if I can, I definitely will. Yeah, I'm pretty positive about this guy. Not too worried. Let's see. I'll probably average this down if this goes to like 30 cents. And that's basically it for that. I'm looking at some of these other stocks that are getting calls right now, but nothing really looking that impressive. SCSN is still dying out. VRPX is moving pretty strong. VRPX is moving pretty strong. Very strong. BRPX to the moon. It's just getting a pre-market pump, massive pump. Good for them. Good for anyone that got in there. Even right after it's been called, it's still going up really high, so that's pretty good. Very nice. So just to show you guys, let's turn on privacy mode. So right here on Thinkorswim, TD Ameritrade, we can see VRPX going crazy. So I got the alert when it was still right here, 590, still going, possibly going to keep going, but it hit all three of the price targets that the first alert I got was all about. So good stuff, very good stuff. Everyone's watching VRPX right now. Huge jump. Basically about to hit 7 and then it came back down. There you go, 7. That's amazing. You don't want to risk getting into something after it does something crazy like that, so you just sit back and enjoy. LMFA kind of making some movement too now after coming down like that, but that's always scary. You never know what this candle is going to be. This has to be like a quick 25-cent trade. 25-cent trade goes at 25 cents, you sell it. That's it, because this green candle can quickly become something like this one where it's followed by a bunch of reds, or this one where it's followed by a bunch of reds. So yeah, before the reds start hitting, you want to make your move. This is starting to come back down from its high of 709. Okay, tiny pump, good little pump, enjoyable indeed. Let's go. Here we are. One more minute till the TD Ameritrade ring. Alright, now we wait for all this to update. There you go. X became negative. NEM even more negative. Aqua negative. AMD dying. Oof. AMD dying big time. So that looks like it's down 50% almost. Yeah. Let's see. Is it gonna go up from here? So I could average this down if I want to, but I'm not sure if I want to just yet. I didn't set a stop loss, and I could just sell it here. Let's take a look at how everything's moving. Yeah, definitely a big day of puts as soon as the market is opened. Puts everywhere. McDonald's coming down too. So who do I want to, okay, I'm going to watch this. Lines are still too small. I should know in the next 2 minutes who to grab. Chewy looking green, okay. Why so red? The red part usually indicates that, you know, it's gonna start coming back up, and it's gonna come back up pretty strong. So it's like a dip and rip kind of moment. Although Apple, I'm pretty sure is gonna go down, so let's pick some of these up before it goes too far. And if it starts coming back up all of a sudden, then it is what it is. Yeah, there you go. 5 puts picked up. Shorting Apple. And if Apple decides to be a strong boy and starts going up, I'll cancel that, sell it, take the loss, and start moving into calls. Okay. Looks like it's about to come. Yep, back to 150. Just die. Watching the rest. So Walmart is dying. Chewy is trying. Newmont just needs to figure out what it wants to do. AMD is dying. Doesn't look like it wants to come back up. Pfizer's starting to go. Okay, so here we are with Pfizer. Looking pretty good. I don't know how much further it'll go up today. Well, why is this a little longer? See where it breaks. Aqua looks like it's done. It's not going to try to come back up, but that's a penny contract, so I might average that down if it ever decides to make some movement up. Walmart finally curling back. Here we go. Missed it, or oh, filled. Okay, contracts filled. I didn't miss it. Walmart's going off pretty fast. Apple shaky. AMD making its movement up. Please just do it. Just do it. Just go to 120. Fuck it. Just go to 120. I don't give a fuck. Oh no. Uh-oh. Apple trying to show some power. What about Chewy? No. McDonald's trying to show power. What did I just buy though? I just bought something. What did I just buy? Walmart. Where is it? Oh, this one. Yeah, here we go. That's pretty good. So Apple's trying to show some power. Okay. Is it really gonna? I don't know about that. This is basically an Apple spread at this point. This is looking nice. Walmart. Are we doing Len? No. McDonald's, maybe. Chewy, maybe. Newmont is good to open. Pfizer. And X. Okay. So hold on. Wait. We're having Walmart. Don't come back down, bitch. I got 5 here. So you got a spread on Apple. The call is down. The put is down. So we got to see where Apple finally decides to go. I got the call pretty high though, so I'm gonna sell these pretty quick. 0.9. Let's just say 0.92. Just get rid of it at 0.92. And yeah, there you go. Did it fail? It did not fail. That was too quick. Wow, this is shaky as fuck. I might have to just put the order in. 1. Oh no. It's all going away. It's gonna die. Don't die. Let's just put 105 here. Wow. Fuck you, Walmart. This sold. Okay, good. I really feel like it's gonna have a jump and then just die out. So I'm gonna keep the puts here. Probably average it down once it starts to die. Cause I know Apple's gonna die. It has to. It's at its peak. You know. It's gotta have that pullback moment, and everything else is dying. Let's see. Okay, McDonald's, what are you trying to do today? What are you trying to do today? Walmart, Roku, Moderna, Roku. Way too overpriced. Way too overpriced. Fuck that. $800 for a single contract. No, thank you. Moderna's been having some massive dips. Right, this is stability, and then massive after-hour dips. But yesterday was pretty green. Wow, $1,000 for a single contract. No thanks. I'm good on that. Apple, what are you doing? Oh shit. Okay. Wow. Power plays, Apple. How far are you gonna go up before you die? I'll definitely just average this shit down. Sold at 92 cents. It went all the way to 113 after dipping, but it did go to 113. That's pretty much the peak of Apple, though. Should have averaged down right there. That's pretty decent. And Walmart still trying. McDonald's slowly but surely trying. Big part of this dip is just all the crypto dying. My 300 Litecoin dying. My 20k doggy dying. Alright. So of the power stocks, I see Apple's doing really well, but I'm waiting for it to be shorted. I already climbed it up with the spread. Got some green out of it on its way up. Went further up. Now I want it to die. So waiting on that death moment. So yeah, could have driven it much higher up, but after hitting 0.92 it did come back down, and then while I was watching other stuff it went back up. Picked it up at the cheaper puts, averaged it down. Need this to die. Hopefully it will. Let's see. AMD shaky but trying. Not sure how well it'll be able to try. Pfizer, Aqua's done case. I don't think Aqua's gonna do anything, but I'm gonna hold that through. No point in selling anymore. Walmart had really gone up and then came back down. It's letting me down. It's shaking so much up and down right here. Freaking dancing. These two are too expensive as contracts. Chewy, I close because it's not really moving. Chewy and Etsy are always very nice in the direction they go in, but let's see, Chewy. Yeah, like they're both looking pretty positive. McDonald's is too slow today. I'm gonna drop that real quick. Come on, Walmart, just do your thing already, man. Do your thing already. That's a little expensive. That's a little expensive. I'm good. Also expensive. Yeah, fuck that. Whether or not to average this down. Whether or not to average this down. I'm not sure. Not really. It can just become green. I think that's good enough for me. Sell at 0.45. Yeah. Apple. Still dwindling up there. But will you stay up there? That's the real question. This isn't that expensive. I would consider this, but I would want to see a bit of a pullback before I buy it. And I guess that's it for now. Yeah. The rest of this for steel, I'm not too worried about steel. It should be able to make its way back up pretty fine today. I might get a chance to average it down at some point, so I'll try that. Yeah, I could definitely average this down pretty easily. So I'll keep an eye on it. And that's it for now. So thanks a lot for joining. Let's see how this goes. So far, pretty in and out. Not sure where we're standing, but we found what's looking powerful today. Apple's looking amazing. Very strong rise. From a tiny dip, a very strong rise. Now we just wait and watch and see what it does. Alright, so I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Thanks a lot for joining.